Get Fit with Nick. Nick Childress, private gym training every Wednesday morning around 7:20, talking about what private gym training entails, but more specifically, how we can kind of adapt our point of view to to our particular physical challenges, too. You said you wanted to talk about adaptation today.
Yeah, for the last few weeks, I've been talking about how to adapt your mindset and your habits in order to get ready to start that weight loss journey, because it can be daunting. Today I'm going to talk more about how your body will also adapt and how muscle growth occurs due to adaptation. Now, last week I was talking about fear of failure.
Yeah, I remember.
And Will Smith started a YouTube channel a couple weeks ago, and of course it's blown up. And one of his videos, he talked about what Arnold Schwarzenegger told him, which is you have to fail when you work out. And
or else you will make no progress.
That's true. Now, at the beginning level, that's not necessarily true, but in the high advanced levels, you have to do every set to failure to get your muscles to react. So,
is there muscle memory? Is there such a thing?
Muscles don't remember, but your neuromuscular system does.
Okay, all right.
Your brain does, and your spinal cord, all that stuff does.
Okay.
And you know, it's true that if you've had muscle before, then your body will put it on faster. It kind of knows more what it needs to do. But the body's amazing what it can do. I mean, it just adapts to whatever you need, as long as it's getting what it's need nutrition-wise and rest, and you're just not completely killing it.
Okay. Very interesting. So, do muscles get tired? Obviously they do. We get tired. Again, I guess it's kind of like a memory question. Do muscles think? Do they have their own being?
Well, you know, that gets a little complicated.
Yeah.
The neuromuscular system does do things on its own that we're not really aware of. A good example is if your hand hits something hot, and it'll pull away before you realize that it's hot. But specifically about muscles getting tired, they get tired in 3 different ways, generally speaking.
Okay.
There's 3 different energy systems. Most people are familiar with the aerobic system, which is if you're doing something where you can get enough oxygen, you keep doing it for hours on end. There's the anaerobic system, which is you're doing something so intense you're not getting enough oxygen that your muscles need, and you can do that for a few minutes generally. And then there's the ATP system, adenosine triphosphate, and that is your very quick, short, powerful bursts of energy that you use. Now, when you work out, you can actually target each of those and grow them differently, and you need to do that in order to get the most. If you're only working your cardio, then you're going to have anaerobic deficits. You're going to have you're not going to have that power that you want if you're lifting heavy for the ATP requirement. So there's different workouts you would do to get a different type of energy adaptation.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Thinking out loud right now with Nick Childress, and talking about getting fit with Nick, talking about muscles, adaptation, and this sort of thing too. How does you mentioned the various kinds of exercises that are needed and this sort of thing? The third one that you mentioned, ATP, was that it?
Yeah.
Is that the thing that kicks in? Is that the fight or flight initially? Is that the syndrome?
Well, what you would be talking about would be like a dump of adrenaline. Yeah.
Okay.
And so generally, if you're in that kind of situation, you're going to want to use your ATP system to get out of there or to fight or whatever. But it is not the cause of the fight or flight.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it is just an energy system that you can call upon during that situation.
Okay. Very good. What else you got?
Well, there's predominantly 2 types of muscle fibers. There's fast twitch and slow twitch. And so this is part of the reason that workout programming can be so complicated, because you have different energy systems, you have different goals such as strength, power, and endurance, and then you have every muscle has a different ratio of fast and slow twitch muscle fibers. Now, a slow twitch is long-term endurance. That's going to be walking, and a fast twitch muscle fiber is a fast, powerful movement, like a chest press, and you can grow those muscles to different degrees. The fast twitch is going to grow more, So if you're looking for muscular development, that's where you're going to want to concentrate, but you also have to have slow twitch, and you can grow slow twitch as well. Wow. So you have to hit both angles in order to get the most development.
And this would be, I would presume, unique to each person, right, in terms of the balance of what they do and require?
Yeah, it's unique to their goals. It's unique to what they've trained already. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if somebody comes to me and they've trained a certain style already, chances are they're going to get the best benefits by training a different style rather than doing the same kind of style. And there's a difference between men and women. Men have more fast twitch muscle fibers, so they have the potential for more muscle growth in that area and faster bursts of speeds. But women actually have the potential for more endurance.
Wow.
How about that? Now, some of the things you're talking about, Nick, with adaptation, how important is it that people understand this going in and getting going with this, with their workouts?
Well, if they're with the personal trainer should know this stuff and design their workout for them, and they don't really need to understand. But I am the type of trainer that teaches my clients. I want them to understand what we're doing and why, partially so they know they're getting their money's worth,
sure,
but also so they understand that if I'm having them lift a weight, 2 or 3 seconds and then lower it another 2 or 3 seconds, that's a very different style than what they may have seen or what they've done before, where they're just trying to pump that weight as quickly as possible, or they don't understand why they're doing 12-pound dumbbells instead of 30 or something like that.
So as you explain it to them, you're really creating a partnership, if you will, between yourself and your client.
Yes, exactly. And it's always a partnership with what they want to accomplish and the different ways to get there. But I think that having them understand why we're doing certain things a certain way really helps motivate them and make them really stick to it, because a lot of people will go in and they'll just want to do as many reps as fast as they can, because that's what they've learned is do the reps, mindset, do as many as you can.
Right.
But that's really secondary to how the exercise is performed.
Well, it sounds like you get more resistance if you do it a little slower anyway, right?
Yeah, it's called a time under tension.
Yeah.
For hypertrophy, which is muscle growth. That's the main goal there, and you want about 40 to 50 seconds minimum time under tension in order to get the most muscular growth. So that is generally done with a 2 to 3 second concentric and eccentric, which is a raising and lowering of the weight.
When folks first come to you, of course, you sit down with them and plan out the regimen based on their needs, their desires, and where they're at physically, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I take into account pretty much everything that they've done in the past. If you played hockey 20 years ago, then that gives me a little bit of information about you. So I do at least a full assessment on the first session to figure out where people are at, because sometimes where people think they're at isn't necessarily where they're at. They'll have strengths that you're not necessarily aware of, and they'll have weaknesses that you're not necessarily aware of.
I know a number of our listeners are very interested in finding out more and getting involved with you at Private Gym Training too, and setting themselves up to be your partner in their physical evolution and development too. So how can they get in touch?
Well, I'm at privategymtraining.com. Phone number is 430-8089. That's 430-8089. And if you really want to make a change to your body and you want to do that in a private gym where there's other people, you're not waiting for equipment, that sort of thing, then definitely give me a call, hit me up, and we'll set a free consultation. It's no pressure. I'm not a salesperson, so it's just if you want to make the change, you can make it.
All right.
PrivateGymTraining.com, and the number again?
430-8089. And next week I'm going to continue talking about adaptation, but on the weight loss spectrum and how your body adapts to caloric deficits.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah. All right. Always interesting with Nick Childress, Private Gym Training. Thanks a lot. We'll join you next Wednesday.
All right. Thank you, guys.